Good morning, friends. Today's we'll be discussing my second class. This topic is the society, right? How to society and the feel of our society's norms. And first, this class is maybe introduced via society. What is the meaning of society and how many characteristics of our society? And that's a many type of our society, right? First, using what is the society? Society is a combination of the many relationship, many religion, and many for institutions. Like that, society is a area. Society like that. Was what is society? Society. I can introduce the society is a first of some basic is importance of our society like that the group of human being first. What group of human being? Okay. Next is the how to interact, so that the interaction process must be compulsory in our society. Well, next is the interaction process, because interaction process must be compulsory in any units of our sociology. And the society is also available the some caste, religion, function, class, organization, and also a disorganization is must be compulsory in our society, because the changes social changes must be possible is a disorganization and the organization, like so also available a disorganization in our society. And many more factor like that the family relationship, kinship, right, relationship interaction process is must be compulsory in our society. And how to explain a society? What is the meaning of society? So society is a group of people, like that a group of human being is a group of people, right? Group of people who share the common culture, because the society is also available a culture, tradition, and way of life, how to live in our society, because every person is a different nature and a different behavior, and this behavior survive for the whole life in that society's norms and the society rules and regulation, and the correlated by the many units of available of society, like as a family, relationship, kinship, marriage, organization, disorganization, community, and many factors or the many units. And that units is a correlated by a human being, so that a different culture, territory, and the way of life, and who interact who are another form organization, organized relationship, and the institutes organized relationship, like as the social organization is a connecting the people. That's and the definition, how to definition and how to produce via any scholars. What is society, right? First is a society is a wave of social relation produced by a MacIver page. MacIver page introduced a society is a wave of relationship. How to wave of relationship? First, that's a society. You can see that society, right? That's a society, and society means to a many people or a group of people. Yeah, group of people, and the group of people. What the need of many? Need of, that's a group. When they created of the relationship, when they create a relationship, relation people to peoples, because the group of peoples, society is a group of peoples, and the sharing for emotions, thought, feelings, and need of our society. How to need fulfill for any requirement via society, right? And that the relationship first, like there's a family relationship, right? A family relationship is a mother relation, family relationship is a father relation, family relationship is a sister relation, family relationship is a brother relation. But mother to mother, mother to mother, this person is mother to mother to include father to father, and the father to mother, sister to sister-in-law. You see, that's a created a wave. So MacIver page is produced or introduced by the society is a wave of relationship, right? Next, a society is a collection of individuals united via the certain relation or the modes of behavior which mark them the of effect of another. Via genes work, genes that produce the behavior because the society's norms. Every like that the institution, institution, community, class, caste, religion, every is a unit of our society. But this is a different relationship. Institution person will be create a relationship in any institution. How is a different relationship? Because institution may be waste post, like as the study, sorry, status and a role. That's a different nature and different relationship. And in the community relationship, that's a different relationship because the community relationship they depend only for the community segment and they define a properly geographically area. That's a different, and the alive of the whole life in that communities. Next is a class. Class may be introduced up status, like, and the caste is a different relationship. So that's a human behaviors via genes work. Next, so scholars, society is a social organized processing harmony and the structure and the function via August Comte. Humanity. Next, characteristics of our society. How many characteristics of our society? First is a group of people, because not society is not a alone. Society is the many relation, like society is a many culture, many tradition, many relationship, many caste. So that's a group of people, something different. How many a caste in our society? Many caste, many religion, many cultures, because the combination of the different, that's a society. So that's a many factor of group of people. Next is a social relationship. Every person to create a first a relationship, and that's the relationship is only for the social relationship, because relationship must be possible as a primary relationship and the secondary relationship, and other type of the formal or a informal relationship. First is a formal relationship and the informal relationship is also include of our society. Right? Next is a common culture, because common culture is a factor of that society. But in that situation, like as a many culture, so that first cultures people is a common culture, like that the Hindu tradition, all Hindu is the follow for the common culture. And next is a Muslim, that the Muslim is a only for that Muslim only is a follow our common culture. But societies include the both of culture. There are many more culture in available of our society, right? Next is a social organization. Social organization is a concept of organized very people, like that this Hindu organization, Muslim organization, any other third organization. is the total is the social organization. Social control also a procedure by the controlling of a human being, because the disorganized or the disobey of social norms, social values, and many more. Controlling is the procedure how to human being is the obey, है ना, and the disorganized by any human being. So control like that of families controlling, like that a religion controlling, like as a some institution. This is a controlling unit by creating a human being, and the control the behavior and the nature by human. Next is the mutual dependency. Every people in the life of our societies be depend for the any other, like clothing, buying clothing, so I can be depend for the cloth. And next is a food, so I can be depend a farmer, right? Then I can be depend like as the family pattern. So first one, I can eat the some food, so I depend on mother. Financial depend on father. Emotion depend on sister and a brother. This is a dependency of every person in available of our society. So this is a mutual dependency, right? Next is cooperation and the unity. Cooperation is the help, cooperative help with the person to person. That is a next is a continuity and the changes. First society is produced before many years, but is the some changes and the continuity every year, every location, and the every position, every situation. But society is also available, like as the India's other and the other, because the MacIver page also pronounces when the worth is the society is available, right? Worth is possible, then the society is also possible, right? That's the characteristics of our society. Next, type of our society. How many type of our society? I introduced the how many society. First of the before the starting of positions, right? Starting of position, hunting and the gathering society. What the hunting, right? Earliest form of society. Firstly society will become, so just only for the hunting depend of only for the basic need, on the physical need, on the mental need, basic need. So only this need is fulfilled by the hunting procedure, right? So that's society is a hunting society. Next, people hunted animals, like that animals and the gathered wild fruits, nuts and planets, and for the survival purpose, because the nothing for you how to agriculture, how to pet animals, nothing now. So only for the depend on the hunting and the forest nuts, forests fruits, and forest feed, just only for depend. This is the characteristics for the hunting society, right? Next, no permanent home, nothing for any rest home, any building, any room, nothing, because this is a hunting society. Hunt for the any animals, so you can be survive. That's of a animal, then go for any others, nothing for the agriculture, nothing for the pet animal. So why to survive? Because the survival is the most possible. So that is leave that area and go for another area. So that's not a permanent address, not a permanent home. Okay, a small group with a simple social structure. Some people firstly introduce the people to people. That's it. Some people is only for the survive, dependency only for the survive. Okay, for example, some indigenous tribes in Africa, like there are many tribal, yeah, many tribes also at that time is only for the depending hunting procedure and for the surviving procedure, right? Next is pastoral society. How to pastoral? So people lived via domestic and the herding animals such as the cattle, sheep, and the goat. After for the hunting society, people maybe realize how this animal is a pet animal. Why? When the need of our that, right? So that many people like that a sheep, like that a goat, begin when the human literate and to the time animal milk. meat, and the transport, milk. When people, some people is getting a milk, some animal is a milk, and animals meat. So I feel the basic need, like the eating, like in the food. Milk can be created an energy, and meat is the physical energy. So that society is a posterior society, semi normatic, or the move the find growing a line. And this society, after for that society, agricultures, right? Agriculture, agrarian society, agrarian so simply that's people realize to that's a landlord is the growing any crops, that's crops is will be fulfill for our need. So that's people begin the farm and the grow the crop using the simple tools. First of all, that's a crop seed and bearing for the land, and after for the sometime crop is creating. That's a fact for the agriculture, agrarian society. Next is the permanent settlement where the establish how to permanent so because that the crop and the landlord, when the landlord is creating a crop so that the establish and the permanent home, right? Next is populating grow and village town develop because the peoples stay long time, yeah, long time, so that the many peoples come to that location, and this is a create any village, any town, any after for that create any community, right? Social classes and the property ownership and the emerges, for example the traditional and the rural village in India and the Egypt and the others country, right? This is the agrarian society. Next is the industrial society. Industrial society is like that many industry produce, and that the locations is called the industrial society. That's a start after for the industrial revolution in 18th century. This society is produced of the after for the 18th century, because the 18th century is many locations and the many is world location is creating any industries, and this era is called via industrial society. Economic based on the manufacturing and the industry, manufacturing and the industries, how to use a machine factories and the technology in industrial society. People moved from the village to city because the people stay only for the crop or a farming or a agriculture, because that the before that's a before a agriculture or a agrarian society, this people only for the depend or agrarian or agriculture. But after for the industrial societies will be created, that person is going to a industries area like that. So new social classes, worker and the capitalist, because the industry must be manufactured or create. So how many peoples is a working procedure, there's a create any new class is a worker class or a employee class or ownership class, like create a group of capitalism, capitalism of a worker, right? Both classes are created via industry, right? After for industrial area or the industrial society, we created a owner and a worker, and in the both person is a middle man, some community or a develop, right? For example, veteran US, Germany during the 19th or the 10th century. Next is a post-industrial society or a modern society, right? Modern society, post-industrial, how to information. When the information is a circulate the overall the world, that's a post-industrial society, because that's a post-industrial society, nothing for the any thought. Just you can be see that that's a my, not a realization. This is a post-industrial society fact, right? Economy based information service technology rather than the manufacturing, just only for that, right? Widespread use the computer, internet, AI. Today's will be discuss of the artificial intelligence. Human brain is artificial brain is must be created, and that's the AI is the surviving of every person, every human being, and work done via AI. So that's artificial intelligence. That's the characters of the post-industrial society, right? education and the knowledge based key resources. You can be knowledgeable person, you can be based of the any thought or changes for the our society. That's a very important. So that is a education and the knowledge become the key resources. Every person resources what? Knowledge, right? Like as today's developed countries, US, Japan, South Korean, and also included America and the India. Many countries is used in AI, and this society is a post-industrial society, and the post-industrial society only for the based of information. Nothing for information is a true or false, but information. Yes, you can be fresh of mind and lack of emotion, lack of realization, lack of particularly fact, right? Okay, so that is the society class. This is my second class. I also the known as the creating for that class, and also attach my surgeon academy and subscribe my channel of the surgeon academy. Thanks for watching this video.